The Great Southwestern Antique Show is the premier antique event of New Mexico. The show, coming to Expo New Mexico next month, features the collections of over 200 of the finest antique and folk art, American Indian and Western and ethnographic arts dealers in the United States. And Terry Schurmeier is the promoter of the Great Southwestern Antique Show, and Hazel Tull-Leach is with the UNM Foundation. Welcome back to both of you.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
I love having that bright smile back here on our couch. It's so good to see you both. And I want you to share first with us, Terry, a little bit about the history of the Great Western Antique Show.
Well, the Great Southwestern started 14 years ago.
Okay.
And it's become the premier Southwest event. We're the largest antique show in the Southwest, and we bring dealers in from all over the country.
And still going. Well, who are these dealers? I mean, you said all over the country. Where do they predominantly come from?
Well, you know, you'd think that we'd have a lot from New Mexico, but really they come from all over. We have people from Florida, Vermont, California, Washington, Oregon, Michigan, Ohio.
Wow.
So it really brings in a lot of people, and then our customers fly in from Paris and Australia and really all over the world. It's become a very, very big event for Albuquerque.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, it really brings in a lot of tourists, but then what happens is they never want to leave, right? Or they want to keep coming back, and that's why 14 years and still going.
Yes.
And what's really special about it is that there's also a charity element, right, Hazel?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
We are just so fortunate to be partnered with Terry. We have now, this is our third year, and we raise money for adult oncology education for the nurses. And unfortunately, with budget cuts, nurses are having to, you know, I mean, they can't afford to always continue to go and take conferences that are needed to keep their credentials, and so we actually, this helps offset the cost. And
so nice.
they learn the latest and greatest technology and protocol and treatment that they can take it right to the bedside.
We need our nurses, so to be able to continue to keep them educated and on top of what's going on is so important. We have to take care of the people who take care of us above all else, right? And you know, you take care of us by giving us some beautiful art. And so show us some of the art that you've brought with us today, because I know there's a lot of different treasures that we'll be able to expect. So what are we looking at here?
This is an 18th century tin nicho that was made in Valencia County, New Mexico.
Amazing.
And it contains a St. Anthony, and this little bulto or santo is a three-dimensional carving made of wood, and it represents the saint that takes care of our children. St. Anthony is the patron saint of children. And this was made by the Laguna Santero back in about 1780, 1790.
And like we were all talking about before we went on the air, it's a treasure. It really is, and it's a treasure that you can have forever to share with your family and continue to teach them about the culture here in New Mexico.
Oh yeah, it's so unique. The artwork in here in New Mexico and the cross-culturalization between the Hispanics and the Native Americans has really, really enriched the state.
Absolutely. And you know, speaking of enriched the set, how about that big pottery on that we're looking at on our table? We said we need, what did we say? We needed a table for our pottery instead of pottery for our table, because it is so incredible and almost overwhelming. It's just so beautiful. Tell me about that.
This jar was collected in 1910 by a Denver family, and it stayed in the family through 3 generations. It came out of Cochiti Pueblo, and there is a signature on the slip by Sephirina Swina, and she was from a major Cochiti family, and it had the original price tag in 1910 of $25, written right on the pot.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Hazel, when you're around all of this and being a part of it, you must just be so engrossed in wanting to continue to buy more things, right?
Oh,
it's got to be so difficult.
Oh, I mean, it's just, the history in New Mexico is just amazing.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about, it's great for Americans to actually keep things, not throw things away.
It's so true.
I mean, that's why it's an antique, and so it's so beautiful.
Well, then tell me a little bit about collecting and then investing. How, you know, once we decide to keep all of these different works of art, how do we collect? How do we invest? What do you recommend?
Well, you know, I think that the society has really gotten a lot more familiar with antiques and collecting because of Antique Roadshow and all the different television shows that are out now. It's made people more aware that these older things are made well and they last forever.
That's the key. They last forever, clearly. And so I want to remind all of our viewers where the show will be and how they can be a part of it.
Go ahead, go ahead.
The show is August 4th and 5th, which is Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
And it's at the Lujan Center at Expo, New Mexico. But our big push is for our Cancer Nursing Endowment. And on Friday at 2 in the afternoon, we have a $75 sneak preview, and 100% of the money goes to the endowment. We don't take one penny.
So that's August the 3rd.
Right. August 3rd, 100% goes to the nurses.
To the nurses for the endowment for them to continue their education.
And it gives you a preview, so you get a little sneak peek at what to expect.
Well, and you can buy that day before other people get in.
See, that's the way to do it. That's what I did in Santa Fe with the Folk Art Festival on Friday night. You go the night before, and I'll tell you, it's a good idea. And to know that money is going to a great place makes it even better.
Exactly.
Hazel, Terry, thank you both so much for being back here with us.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Nikki.